Hi Ma, very warm good morning. So in this video we are dealing with the most important concept, that is standard costing. What is the topic Ma? Standard costing. Okay. So initially when we are going to this topic and all, first we need to know the basic meanings and fundamental layman terms. Okay. The very fundamental meaning for a costing. Okay. Sir, what is the meaning for costing Ma? Nothing but to calculate cost. What is that, Ma? To calculate a cost. Now, what is meant by standard? Okay. Similarly, what is meant by standard, Ma? Sir, normally in a real life we might have gone through some standard. Okay. But we don't know that it is something like standard and all. The basic realities. The best meaning is benchmark. Okay. The very best meaning is what, Ma? Benchmark. And some other meaning which is close, nothing but it is a target. Okay. Or even similar meaning is what, Ma? Benchmark, target, and what, Ma? Any other different names which you may feel that very close. The most important is nothing but budget. The costing is to calculate cost, and standard is nothing but benchmark, a target, or a budget. Now let us go with a very small example, that too which is connected to your studies. Okay. So let us take your CA Inter. What is the level of comparison, Ma? CA Inter or a CMA Inter. Okay. When we compare here, for example, you are planning for and you are having a target of getting, in the case of CA Inter, you are planning for 300 out of 600. And in the case of CMA Inter, you are planning for 400 out of 800. These are the targets you mentioned in your career initial at CMA Inter level or CA Inter level. But actuals, what are the actuals? Ma? What score you secured? Okay, that score, for example, the score in the case of CA Inter, if it is the case of CA Inter, the score, okay, let us go with same color. The score you got out of 600 is 250. Oh, okay. And in the case of CMA Enter also, the score they secured is how much, ma? Out of 800, they secured at least 350. Okay. So they have set some target, but actuals are there is some sort of difference. Okay. Sir, what is the difference in this case, ma? The difference in this case is 50, and the difference in this case is also 50. Okay. There is a difference. What you are expecting, okay, and what is the actuality, there is a difference. There is a deviation. There is a variation. Okay. So if you go with the company point of view, even a company, okay, if you go with the company, that is organization or a company, okay, at the year beginning, if you take a time stamp, okay, in the case of this time stamp, okay, this is year beginning, okay, and this is year end. Okay. Sir, in the year beginning, the company has set a target to achieve a profit of 10 lakhs. How much is the profit they are expecting, ma? The profit of 10 lakhs. But in reality, at the year end, they secured a profit of 8 lakhs 50,000. Okay, for example. So now 10 lakhs profit is a target set by them at the year beginning, and the actuals, the profit they secured is 8 lakhs at the year end. So there is a difference between these two values. What is the difference, ma? The difference is 1 lakh 50,000. Now, what the company should do before dealing with that part. So we have set a target for CA inter students and CMA inter students. They set a target and there is a difference of 50. Now let us go with the difference of CA inter students. Then we shall go with the target difference of a profit of an organization. Okay. So now The difference for a CA inter student or a CMA inter student is how much? 50 marks. So by which he got not cleared in the CA inter and CMA inter. Now we need to identify what is the reason for this shortage. Okay, the reason should be identified. Sir, for example, in the case of CA inter, there are group 1 and group 2. In the case of CMA inter also same. Sir, in the group 1, which subject led me to not to clear exams? And in group 2, which subject has the same position? I should identify them. Okay. So now if I identify them, what is the next step, ma? I need to correct in the upcoming attempt. Identification is important and correction is important. Okay. So I will identify the subject which I secured less and what is the cause, and next in the next attempt I will do what, ma? I next attempt I will rectify it. Okay, this is the case of CA or a CMA. But what about organization, ma? Sir, in the case of our organization, what is the profit difference, ma? 1,50,000 is the profit difference. We need to identify what is the cause for this difference, sir. So we need to identify what is the cause for this difference. Sir, we need to identify them and we need to think after identification who is the reason for this difference also should be identified, and finally we make them responsible for that cause. Okay, so this is nothing but responsibility accounting. Standard costing is somehow connected to what, ma? Responsibility accounting, nothing but accountability is identified in this case. Okay, now as the profit varied, okay, this vary is nothing but variance. What is that, ma? It is known as variance. In the case of standard costing, this is nothing but variance. What can be the cause for this variance? Sir, the cause for this variance can be either cost or a revenue, nothing but sales. Either cost may be increased and also or sales may be decreased. These can be the reasons. Okay, now after identifying the things like cost item and sales item, we have to go for sub bifurcation. So in the case of cost, basically cost includes what, ma? Cost includes material. Okay, cost includes materials. Okay, and what is other item, sir? We are also incurring some labor to do the work. That can be the second part. And basically third category has sub bifurcations also, that is nothing but overheads. So these overheads can be bifurcated into two categories. Either it can be what, ma? Variable overhead or fixed overhead. Okay, this can be the cause in the case of cost. Okay, now after identifying this, sir, this can be the reasons. Sir, this variance is identified in terms of these two things. But however, see them. So 1,50,000 is my target. So they are playing a key role. Who are those in terms of cost? Either material is playing a key role or labor is playing a key role or overheads. Okay, sir, the variance in the case of standard point of view, there are some sort of targets for even material. There may be some target, there may be labor target, there may be overheads targets. Okay, nothing but standards set by the organizations. These things are compared with what, my actual material cost, actual labor cost, and actual overheads. And there is a difference, that is nothing but variance. Okay, so now let us go with the material variance. Okay, now I am dealing with which part, ma? The most important part is nothing but material cost variance. Okay, we need to go with this. So when we are going with this and all, I need to go with the less basic fundamental examples. If you are listening these examples, they will give their best to you. Okay, shall we go with the basic examples, ma? Sir, in the case of basic examples, let us take example number 1. Sir, we are having a target, nothing but standard for manufacturing a chair. Okay. To manufacture a chair, I need a raw material. What is the raw material quantity I need? 10 kgs raw material I need. Okay. And the price for purchase of this raw material is, okay, what is the price, ma? The price is, example, kg is having a 30 rupees cost. Let us go with this assumption. Now, sir, of this is a standard given to us, but actuals, in the actuals, what has happened, that also we shall see. Ma. Now, the actual information is that is actuals. Sir, actuals is nothing but in the form of output. How much output is generated? Sir, the output generated is, example, I have produced 10 chairs. Okay. And raw material consumed, raw material consumed. Okay. Raw material consumed is, okay, this is 30 given now. Let us go with 150 kgs. How much is the raw material consumed? 150 kgs. And the raw material cost we incurred is, that is 30 fair now. So 30 per kg, it will be better to go with the 40. Okay. So the raw material cost I incurred is how much more? 6,000 rupees is the cost I incurred. Okay. Now I have to see whether the target which is set initially is achieved or not. Okay. Now let us go with the material asset now. So in the case of materials, okay, what is the cost actually planned by them, set by them, and what is actually incurred should be compared. Okay. Sir, in while solving this problem, we need to go for three basic fundamental parts. Okay. The three basic fundamental parts are the information given is nothing but budget. Okay. And what is actually incurred by us, that is actuals. Okay. Sir, budget nothing but what the standards initially given, that part is nothing but a budget part. Sir, if you go the budget part here, what is a 10 kg for each share, I should incur a material of 10 kg, and what is the cost, ma? That is 30 rupees. So quantity, I will write a different one. Quantity, next what, ma? Price and cost. This is the budget point of view. Sir, quantity for one chair. This is for one chair, na budget things. So for one chair, how much is the raw material, ma? 10 kgs. And the price is nothing but how much, ma? 30. Okay. 10 kgs we need to use and 30 per kg. 30 per kg, ma. Okay. So now, if it is, again, I have gone through the things. The price of raw material is kg. For kg, how much, ma? We should purchase for 30 rupees. So raw material cost will increase, ma, once. For example, 150 kgs, that is 150 kgs because for chair, whereas 10, 15 is used, so 150 is clear. And if I purchase for 40 rupees, that will be how much more? 0, 60, 0, 1, 6, 60, right? How much is this? 1 0 is reduced. I'm sorry, ma. So calculator, 1 second, ma, I'll bring the calculator. So now, this is a budget information we got. Now, what is the other information we need, ma? Sir, here we need to go with the other further information, that is actuals. Sir, in reality, actual is for how many chairs, ma? The actuals are for 10 chairs. Okay. It is for 10 chairs now. Now, in this case, what is the quantity? What is the price we incurred? And what is the cost? Sir, quantity, how much we got, ma? The quantity is basically, total it is given how much per day? 150 kgs is used. And the price here it is 40. So total cost is nothing but 6,000. That is clear. Sir, should I compare this? So This is 300. Should I compare these two informations? Is it correct comparison? So if I compare this, the cost I planned is 300, the cost I incurred is 6,000. Is it appropriate comparison? No. Sir, the actuals are incurred for 10 shares. So I should state the standard also for 10 shares. Then it is a comparable thing. Sir, the budget here, it is given initially at the day 1. But standards are calculated when ma? Based on budgets, we are calculating the standards at the year end. Is it clear ma? This will not be mentioned to you by any faculty. This is the most important part. What is the most important part ma? Sir, the budget which we got, okay, that is in the day 1 of year. Now actuals are at the end. Standards are calculated based on the budgets. Okay. Now based on the budgets, I am calculating the standard part ma. That is standard. The standard is also for how many chairs ma? It is for 10 chairs. Okay. So now in this case, the quantity, the price and the cost. Okay. So we have to add a page. Page is added now. So let us calculate this. Sir, how much is the quantity? Sir, what is the standard given ma? 10 kgs for one chair. So how many chairs we produced ma? 10 chairs. So this is 10 into 10 chairs, 100 kgs. What about the price ma? Whatever given in the budget, the same thing should be taken. Okay, that is 30. Now how much is the value ma? It is 3000 rupees is the cost. There is a cost clear ma? Cost which we incurred is 3000. Okay, it is not incurred. It is a standard one. Okay, and the cost actually incurred is 6000. Is it clear? So price and also price is taken. The price will be taken as a budget basis and quantity. Quantity is normally how much ma? 10 kgs per chair. How many chairs we manufacture ma? 10 chairs. So how much of quantity should be taken? That is 100. So now what is the standard cost? What is the standard cost ma? And what is the actual cost? Sir, the standard cost is 3000 and what is the actual cost ma? 6000. There is a difference. So the difference between these two costs is how much ma? Is nothing but the difference is 3000. So this difference of 3000, is it more than what we expected or less than what we expected ma? More than what we expected. As it is more than the cost what we expected. Is it a good situation or a worse situation? It's a worse situation. The worst situation is represented with the letter adverse. Okay. Now, so what is the material cost we expected is 3000. What is the actual cost incurred? It is 6000. There's a difference of 3000 and it is more or less more. So as it is more, it is adverse. Sir, this adverse, there can be n number of reasons. We need to identify the reason. What is the reason for this adverse? Okay. The very first thing, okay, there can be either n number of reasons. Now I am identifying. Sir, what material cost variance? This total difference is nothing but what ma? It is nothing but material cost variance. Is it clear? Sir, this material cost variance can be either because of two guys. Who are those two guys ma? The one guy, the one ultra legend is who ma? Purchase manager. Who is that guy? Purchase manager. Or the other ultra legend is production manager. Okay. Sir, purchase manager is responsible for purchasing and the production manager is responsible for using the raw material. Okay. The purchase guy for procurement, production manager is for using the raw material. Okay. Now, sir, we are asking the purchase manager. Then what is his answer? Nothing but, sir, here purchase manager is asked for the price fluctuations. Okay. And the production manager is asked for what fluctuations? Consumption fluctuations. Sir, what is the standard quantity that should be consumed by him? For 10 chairs, how much is the quantity to be consumed? 10 chairs, 10 into 10, that is 100 kgs. Okay, 100 kgs should be consumed by him, basically. Am I right? But what actually consumed? 150 kgs. Okay, actual quantity consumed is 150 kgs. Extra how much he consumed, buddies? The extra quantity he consumed is 50 kgs. Okay. Now, sir, of this 3000 adverse, because of him extra consuming, we incurred some extra cost. What is that amount, ma? Sir, basically, uh, should we multiply this 50 kgs with either actual price or a standard price? Sir, if you multiply with the actual price, what is the actual price there, ma? Actual price is 40. If I take 40, will the purchase manager feel happy? No. What is the reason, ma? Sir, I am not responsible for the price. I am responsible only for the quantity used. Sir, I already fixed for the price. Whatever you said, I fixed for that. Okay. My boss should get the metal for that price, but consumption, I should be careful. I should be careful regarding consumption. So as the consumption is important, we take here what price, ma? Actual price or a standard price? We should take a standard price because standards are fixed. I will follow standard price rules. And based on the requirement, you can ask me. But price is not in my hands now. It is in whose hands? It is in the hands of purchase manager. So, what is the calculation there, ma? 50 into what is the price there? Price 50 into the price is 30. That is 30 is equal to 1500 adverse. Now by this calculation, can we draw the formula? Okay, let us draw the formula at the end and all, or else anyway we are the stage now. Sir, what I did, ma? 100 minus 150 I have done. This is a standard quantity and this is the actual quantity. Into what I multiplied, ma? Standard price. Okay, simply the formula is standard quantity into standard price minus actual quantity into actual price. You can follow either of the formulas, either this one or this one. Sir, never by heart the formula, go with the logic. If you go with the logic, you need not by heart them and you will never forget. Okay, so listen the examples carefully. If you are listening the examples, that's superb. Okay, now sir, what is other part? Sir, purchase manager. Sir, regarding purchase manager also, there is a cost. Sir, what is the standard price for which we asked him to purchase, ma? For rupees 30. What is the actual price he incurred, ma? Rupees 40. So there is a difference. Okay. Standard price is 30, but actual price is a 40. So now what we need to take for this? Sir, anyway, you have taken their standard price, na? So here also you take standard price. Is it fine, ma? No. Sir, there is a price difference and the price difference is multiplied with what you should be taking to point. Which one we should take, ma? Which one? Either actual price or standard price? Sir, sorry, actual quantity or a standard quantity? Sir, standard quantity does not play any key role because with this price difference, how much he purchased, that is important. How much he purchased. There is a price difference, fine, very well, good, done. But how much he purchased is important. How much he purchased, ma? In our case, he purchased 40. See the 40. So now it is 40. Okay. So now how much kgs, ma, he purchased? So totally, sorry, 150 kgs. Price not, ma, it is 150 kgs. 150 kgs he purchased. Okay, so is it clear, ma? This is nothing but what, ma? Price fluctuation, standard price minus actual price. It is multiplied with what, ma? What we multiplied with it. Okay, actual quantity. Actual quantity, how much he consumed? Nothing but how much, sorry, how much he purchased to into the organization. That is 150 kgs. That is actual quantity. So what is the value here, ma? In this case, here the value is 10 into 150, that is 1500 adverse. Okay, so in this case it is 1500 adverse, and in this case it is 1500 adverse. Is it clear? So now we identified the difference, what is the variance, and we also fixed the responsibilities. Now the production manager is responsible for how much amount, ma? He is responsible for 1500 and the purchase manager is responsible for 1500. Is it clear? If it is clear, now what is the formula? The formula is nothing but standard price minus actual price into actual quantity. Okay, to summarize these things, we calculated three variances. What are those three variances, ma? The very first we calculated is material cost variance. What is the first one? Material cost variance. So this is nothing but difference between two items. What is the two items? What are those two items, ma? Standard cost. Sorry, standard cost of material and actual cost. That is a point. And what is the formula, ma? The formula for them is nothing but standard quantity into standard price minus actual quantity into actual price. Same thing we have done. But however, for a material cost variance, there are two reasons. What are those two reasons? Okay, the other two reasons for this are, I will go with the next page, that will be fine. The reason for these two variants can be what, ma? The very first one is material price variance. What is the first one, ma? Material price variance. What is the other one, ma? Material usage variance. Sir, for material price variance, which manager is responsible, ma? Purchase manager is responsible. For material usage variance, who is responsible, ma? Production manager is responsible. What is the formula there, buddy? Material price variance. There is a difference between price. Standard price, I'll change the color. Standard price minus actual price. Sorry, actual price. Into what, ma? Material price variance. Actual quantity. Now here, metal usage variance. How to measure that one, ma? Sir, metal usage. Nothing but standard quantity minus actual quantity into. Should I take standard price or actual price? Which thing I have to take, ma? Standard price. Because I am responsible for consumption. That is a point. So to summarize, these three are the basic levels. But however, this metal usage variance can be further bifurcated into two parts that we shall see in the next problem. Now let us solve one of the problems from the textbook, ma. That will be very good to you. So before solving the problem and all, let us have a quick recall, ma. So now, what is the standard costing, ma? In that, costing means to calculate cost. So what is meant by standard, ma? It is nothing but either benchmark, target, or a budget. Okay. So now, for example, we have taken the marks of you. You have planned for some target, that is for a CMA inter, you have targeted for 300 and you got 250. What is the reason for this difference? 50 marks difference. You need to identify that and you need to correct the actions in the future. So respective subjects where you are weak, you need to identify, you need to correct that part. Now, next what in the case of company also, sorry, in the case of company also, there is a deviation of profit. Okay, so the target they expected a profit of how much more? 10 lakhs. What is the profit they expected? 10 lakhs. What they got, ma? 8 lakhs 50,000. And if you go further, in the case of CMA intro, CA intro also same. We need to identify what is the reason and all, and in future attempt we have to correct it. Okay. And next, so these differences can be either cost or sales. Cost point of it can be materials and labor overheads. Overheads can be variable or fixed. Okay. Now we are dealing with a middle cost variance. We have taken a basic fundamental example, and that one we have solved on. And these are the cases. Now we shall go with the problem. Sir, and before going to the problem, what is the first material cost variance? Okay, it is nothing but a difference between standard cost and actual cost. If there is a difference, we need to identify that difference. Can be because of two reasons: either because of whom purchase manager, who is purchasing the raw material, and production manager, who is consuming the raw material. Okay, so basically that is material price variance and material usage variance. These are the formulas. Okay, now there is a problem there. See the problem. I'm showing the multiple screens so that I can see the question simultaneously, and you can also see the question simultaneously. This is a basic simple problem that your standard costing and all. This is a basic level. Okay, see, an XC manufacturing concern furnishes the following information. So in the question, they give standard information and actual information. What is the standard information, ma? Metal for 70 kgs of finished products. How much is required? 100 kgs. Okay, to get an output of 70 kgs, we need to consume 100 kgs. Okay, basically, price of metal is 1 per kg, that is given. And actuals, I said now actuals will be based on outputs. So output how much amount? It is 210, 2 lakhs 10,000 is output, and metal used there is 2,80,000, and cost of material is 2,52,000. Calculate what ma is asking us to calculate: metal usage variance, metal price variance, and metal cost variance. Now, sir, when the problem is given, the basic fundamental thing is that you need to read the problems twice. Initially, when you're reading a problem, you may get information, and if you're reading them again, you may get more information and more clarity. Okay. Now, by seeing the question, the very first part in this case is that whatever information is required, I will take that part, and the remaining part is not required. Okay. Now, sir, when I'm solving a solution in a standard costing, tabular presentation is best. If you're presenting them in the form of table format, that will be very convenient to you. Okay. The first part of table is what ma regarding what buddies? It is regarding budget. Okay. How much is the budgets and all? That is nothing but values for a single unit. Okay. And other part is standard. The standard is calculated at the year end. The targets are nothing but standards only, but the name used here is budget. Initially at the day one, they will give the budget limits, and actuals we are getting at the year end. Based on these actuals, how much they should use, we are calculating the standard. Okay, the actual values, what is output ma? That we shall represent them: quantity, price, and a cost. Same, quantity, price, and a cost. Same here also, quantity, and here it is given price now, the price and a cost. Sir, I can fill the budget information, and based on that also I can fill the whatever the actual information is also given, that also can be filled. Let us now fill the budget information. What is the budget information, ma'am? For what is the point given there, sir? For 70 kgs output, how much I should use, ma'am? 100 kgs I should use. Is it clear? For 70 kgs of output, how much I should use, buddy? 100 kgs. So the quantity will be how much more? 100 kgs. How much I have to use them is important. Okay. Price is nothing but 1 rupee. That is totally it's 100 is the cost. Now, what are the actuals more? Actuals output is 2,10,000 kgs. Okay. 2,10,000 is the output we got. But how much is the metal used? Ma? We want metal used. That is 2,80,000 is a material used. Okay. And the cost of material is also given, that is 2,52,000. So 2,52,000, it is divided by how much more? 2,52,000 is the cost, that is divided by 2,80,000. So 0 point. That is how we got for this value. I'm writing the different color so that you can go with that part. 2,52,000 is the cost incurred, and how much is the metal used? 2,80,000. So what is the price per unit, ma? Is it clear? That is price per unit is clear. Now, what is the standard, ma? Sir, the principle they gave is that for 70 kgs of output, I should use how much, ma? 100 kgs. But actually, how much is the output we got, ma? 2,10,000 is the output we got. How much should be used? So we need to go for cross multiplication. Sir, by multiplying cross in this way, we got how much, ma? 2,10,000 into 100 divided by 70. Is it clear? So how much is the value, ma? So 0, 0 is cancelled. Normally it is 3 times. So how much more? 30,000, 3 lakhs. Okay. So quantity we got is 3 lakhs. I'll go with the blue color, that will be fine. Quantity is 3 lakhs. So standard price, it is already given, so it is 1. And the cost is 3 lakhs. Is it clear, ma? Now we calculated everything. Everything is clear. So what is to be calculated, ma? In the question they asked us to calculate material. What they asked, ma? Material cost variance. Metal usage variance, metal price variance, metal cost variance. So the very first part is material cost variance. Okay. What is that value, buddy? And what is that formula, ma? It is nothing but standard cost minus actual cost. Okay. What is the standard cost, ma? We calculated that the standard cost we calculated is what, ma? How much we got, buddy? The standard cost. Once you see, so standard cost, how much we got, ma? We calculated is how much, buddy? That is 3 lakhs is a standard cost. How much is the actual cost, ma? The actual cost of materials is 2,52,000. Sir, here, okay, what we expected to incur is 3 lakhs. What we actually incurred is 2,52,000. So what is the difference, ma? 48,000. Is it adverse or favorable? Sir, we expected to incur a cost of 3 lakhs and we incurred 2,52,000. It's a very happy scenario, ma. Where it is a happy scenario, we represent with a letter favorable. That is F. This is a metal cost variance. Next, what is other variance, ma? What is other variance we need to calculate? Material price variance. What is that, ma? Material price variance. So what is the formula, sir? In the case of material price variance, we need to take the difference between the prices. Okay. So what is the standard price, ma? Standard price minus actual price. Here, and which quantity should be taken? Actual quantity or standard quantity? Actual quantity purchased. Sir, with this price fluctuations, I purchased the actual quantity. Okay, so actual quantity. Sir, standard price. What is standard price we are having, ma? It is 1 rupee, I think so, or 1 rupee. And what is the actual price, ma? 0.9. What is the actual quantity? See the actual quantity there, ma? How much is the actual quantity? 2,80,000. So 2,80,000. So what is the value, ma? 0.1 into 2,80,000. That is 28,000. That to how much, ma? Is it adverse or favorable? It's a favorable part. So I'm representing with the letter F. Now, what is other part to be calculated, ma? Material usage variance. Okay. Sir, material usage variance is nothing but difference between the usages. That is, what is that, ma? Standard quantity and actual quantity. Sir, this should be multiplied with what price? It should be multiplied with a standard price. Okay, is it clear? Now, what is the standard quantity? The standard quantity is how much, ma? It is 3 lakhs. What is the actual quantity we have given, buddy? In the question itself, they gave actual quantity is 2,80,000. What is the standard price, ma? 1 rupee. Where it's a 1 rupee. So what is the difference, ma? 3 lakhs minus 2 lakh 80,000 is nothing but 20,000. Is it adverse or a favorable? Again, it is a favorable. So if you see the three variants, first variance is metal cost variance. How much we got ma? 48,000 favorable. And the other variance is metal price variance. How much we got ma? 28,000. And what is the last variance we need to calculate, buddy? Metal usage variance, that is 20,000. Okay, that is favorable. Sir, you need to summarize them at the end if you are writing. So what he mentioned ma? Calculate metal usage variance, metal price variance, metal cost variance. He gave with the letters. At the end also, you mentioned the same part. What is that, sir? A. What is A, ma? Material usage variance. Therefore, material usage variance is equal to how much, ma? 20,000 favorable. Okay. Next, what is the other part, ma? Material price variance. Sir, in the case of metal price variance, what is the value, ma? We got how much, buddy? 28,000 favorable. So 28,000 favorable. And what is the last part we calculated, ma? That is C, material cost variance. Okay, what is the value we got, ma? 48,000. This need not be seen in the from the other part because the sum of metal price variance and usage variance is nothing but metal cost variance. I said earlier, na? So that is how much, ma? 48,000 favorable. So we can also cross check, ma. What I said, ma? Material cost variance is because of two reasons. What are those two reasons, ma? One is material price variance. Okay. And for this, who is responsible? Our purchase manager is responsible, ma. And what is the other part, ma? Material usage variance. Okay. So see the values. 48,000 is equal to how much is the price variance we got? These two sum, that is nothing but 28,000 plus 20,000. 28,000 favorable plus 20,000. Is it tallying, ma? It's tallying. Okay, now? So is it clear? So now I am summarizing this part. So never go for by hearting them. Go with the logic. If you are going with the logic and all, it will be very fine. Okay. Now see this entire problem once. While solving the problems also, the very basic fundamental part is that you need to be very careful and practice the concept. Okay, you go with the observation of concept and you observe the logics. Once you are observing the logics and all, you need not by heart them at all. Okay, is it clear regarding metal usage variance and metal price variance? They are the main causes for a metal cost variance. Okay, this again, if we go the chart and all, still two parts are pending. First I will explain them, later we shall go with other parts. Okay, first what is the first one, ma? Material cost variance. Sir, for this there are two reasons. Who are those two buddies, ma? The two buddies are, one buddy is material price variance is one buddy, and the other buddy is material usage variance. Sir, the usage variance can be because of two reasons. Okay, that we shall see in the next problem. Now I will write them and we shall go with next. What is that, ma? Material mix variance. Okay, and the other one is material yield variance. Okay, now we shall solve some other problem so that you will get a clarity. Sir, Are you clear with these things? These things are very clear. Now we shall go with the other problem from your ICA book. One of the problem of ICA book is done. Now we shall go with the other problem of ICA book. Okay. So now we are going with the next problem. In this problem, we are having different category of materials. So normally in the real company case scenario or a company in the industry case, for manufacturing a product, we may use different kinds of raw materials. So this problem is a next best problem for you. Okay. Sir, I have also mentioned the other variances which are bifurcated, that is usage variance is bifurcated to more variances. That variance calculation will arise in this case. So if you see the question, in the case of question, the standard mix to produce 1 unit of a product are as follows, that is material X, material Y and material Z. They gave for 1 unit we need 60 units, 80 units and 100 units, and the price is also given. Okay, and these are total ones. And what about actual information, ma? The actual information is also given there. During the month, okay, 10 units were actually produced. How many units are produced, ma? 10 units were actually produced. Okay, and also the consumption of metal X, metal Y and metal Z is nothing but actuals. Actual data is given, ma. Okay, now what is he asking, ma? Asking us to calculate all the variances. Sir, whether we need to calculate the further next two variants or not depends upon the types of raw materials. If there is more than one type of raw material used, then automatically we have to go for the calculation of what material mix variance, material yield variance. Okay, am I clear? Now shall we calculate this entire part? So now, so starting when we start this problem, now we shall go the table basic fundamental part. Let us go with the table, ma. Sir, first, so in this case of problem, we need to fill the data perfectly without any error and all. Sir, how many things we need to go, ma? The very first part is what, ma? It is budget. Budget part. Okay. And we need to go with the standard. The standard is for how many units, ma? The standard is for 10 units. The standard is for 10 units. And actuals are also given for 10 units. Sir, why you are giving some space between this standards and actuals? There is something should be done in that part that I will give information. You need not worry. Okay. Sir, in the case of budget, I will add a page first. Sir, in the case of budget, what is the information we are having, ma? That is quantity. Regarding what, ma? Regarding quantity, we are having information. Okay. Sir, budget is for how many units, ma? It is for 1 unit. For 1 unit, what is information they gave with that part, ma? For 1 unit, it is 60, 80, 100. So the quantity is quantity 60, 80, and 100. Okay, what are standards, ma? Standards we shall calculate, but let us fill the actuals. The actuals are 640, 950, 870. In case of standards actuals, what is the thing about buddy? Quantity, price, and cost. Same with standard also. Quantity, price, and cost. Okay. Now, what is the quantity amount? 640, 950, 870. 640, 850, 950, 870. What is the price there? 17.5, 18, 17.5, 18, and it is 27.50. 27.50. 11,200 17,100. It is 1750, 1750, 18, 27.5, 11,000, 23,925, 23,925. These are regarding the first part. Now, what are the quantities? What are the price for this standard that we shall film up? Standard price is 15, 20, 25. The price is 15, 20, 25. 15, 20, 25. Okay. So now we are having the budget quantity for how much more? For 1 unit. But we need standard for 10 units share. Okay. So based on the given information itself, we can calculate for 10 units. So actuals are given and standard mix for 1 unit is given. Just multiply the 1 unit into 10 units. Then you'll get a standard quantity. Okay. So as they are given, we are calculating the same part. That is nothing but 600, 800 and 1000. Sorry, 1000. So what will be the cost now? 600 into 600 into okay, 9,000, 16,000 reducible S, and this is 25,000. These are the standards. So with this information, we can calculate two variances. What are those two variances now? The very first is material cost variance. What is the material cost variance ma? Sir, here it is good for us to calculate for different raw materials separately. It will be good for you. If I calculate them with a differently, that will be very fine. Okay, so let us calculate them. And here I forgot to mention the raw materials. What are the raw materials we are having ma? Metal X, Y, Z. The metal will be X, Y, and Z. Okay, the same way for metal X, for metal Y, for metal Z. Sir, for metal X, what can be the cost variance ma? Nothing but it is a difference between standard and actual. The standard cost we are having is 9,000. What is the actual cost ma? 11,200. Which body? 9,000 minus 11,200. So that is 2,200 adverse. And what is other case ma? 16,000 minus 17,100. That is 1100 adverse. So straight away I'm writing like this. So just basic information to reduce the same on time. So how we got 9,000 sir? The table earlier table I have mentioned now by using the same we are calculating this. That is 17,100. Next it is 25,000 minus 23,925. 25,000 minus other values clear. 23,925, 17,100, 11,200. Okay, now minus 23,925. 1075 favorable. This is important. That if you are going with the aggregate calculation, you may go wrong here. So calculate them individually when more than one raw material is given. Is it clear? Now, what is the total mark? Minus 3,300. Okay, 1 second, I'll connect the charger. So now we shall go with the other part. Sir, in this case, we got this value. So now what is the total mark? 1075 minus, that is total how much more? The total is 2225 adverse. Is it clear? So material cost variance, we got this. Now what is the next part ma? Material Sir, metal cost variance is because of two reasons. What are those two reasons, ma? The one is price variance and the other one is usage variance. Now I'm going with the calculation of price variance. So say if I'm calculate for them individually, that will be very fine. Sir, metal price variance. What is the formula, ma? Difference between prices. Okay. Sir, in the case of metal X price fluctuations, that is 15 is the price minus 17.5 minus 17.5, and I should take which quantity, actual quantity or standard quantity? Think of it. Sir, with this fluctuations, how much quantity is purchased? That is important. Sir, how much quantity purchased, ma? The case of X 640, that is 640. And in the case of second one, 20 minus 18. 20 minus 18. Okay. How much is actual? 950. Next, the case of third one, 25 minus 27.5. 27.50 is the actual mark. 870. Now calculate the values. The first case 15 minus 17.5 is equal to into 640. It is 1600 adverse. Okay, is that clear, ma? Next, so it is second case going to 950. That is nothing but 1900. Sir, is it adverse or favorable, ma? It's a favorable part. Why, sir? Because this is the part. Okay. Next, in the second category, sorry, in the third one, 25 minus 27.5 equal to into, okay, 2175. That is adverse. Now, what is the total here, ma? This case, sir, we are having is 18, sorry, 1875 adverse. Is it clear, ma? Now, what is the next variance, sir? It is material usage variance. So even this also should be calculated for all the three separately. Okay, that is X, Y, Z. So in the case of X usage, then what will you take? I forgot to write the formulas, ma. I'm extremely sorry. I'm writing the formulas here. This is standard cost into standard price minus actual actual quantity into actual price. And what is the formula here, ma? So metal price, standard price minus actual price into actual quantity. And here what is the formula, ma? Standard quantity minus actual quantity into standard price. Okay. Now based on this formula, what we can get, buddies? So what is next one? Usage. There should be difference between usage quantity. 600 minus 640. Very first one is 600 minus 640. Okay. How much is the standard price there? 15. 15 is the standard price. The case of next one. There's next one more. 800 minus 950. 800 minus 950. 800 minus 950. And what is the price here? The 20. In the third case, it is 25, I think so. Alright. 25. 1000 minus 870. 1000 minus 870. Now, how much is the first case, man? It is 40 into 15. So we got how much, buddy? 600 adverse. I'm sorry, ma. Next in second case, 3000 adverse. But in the case of last one, it is 130 into 25. That is 3250 favorable. Okay. Now in this case, 600 is 3000. Yes, 3250. How much we got now? 350. Sorry. Every time that is not right. Okay. Adverse. If you see the total, I said one basic principle. What is that now? These two totals should be equal. Sir, what are those that now? What is the equation we have mentioned earlier? The equation we mentioned is material cost variance. It is just for cross checking. Material cost variance is equal to material price variance plus what is other part? Material usage variance. Okay. So what is the material usage variance value? We are having 350 adverse and earlier one 1875 adverse. What is its total for the sake of calculation? 1875 plus 350. We got 2225. Is it same there? Yes. So we have done the right part. Now what is the next one? When there are more than one type of raw material, we need to calculate material mix variance. Sir, now I am giving the basic information because of experience and all. Sir, material mix variance. Sir, when we are calculating this, we will use a term. The term is what I give a space there now. Okay. This is but nothing but a revised standard quantity. We need to calculate that revised standard quantity. Okay. So that too for 10 units. Similar case. So how to calculate, sir? Nothing but the total of actual quantity is rewritten, is rewritten, is rewritten in a standard ratio. Okay, just this total will be mentioned in this ratio, so standard ratio. Now, what is the total here, ma? 640 plus 950 plus 870. How much it is? How much is the value? 2460. This is calculated in the ratio or a proportionate of a standard. Okay, so that is basically this should be the standard. Now there are some changes because of that we are also changing our standards. Okay, now there is some change because of that we are changing our standards. We are revising our standards. Okay, that is for X how to calculate and all I will show now. The ratio is 60, 80, 100. That is the basic part. Okay. So this total is nothing but how much, buddy? It will be 240. Oh, 240. So that's 240. So in the case of X, how we'll get more? This is total of actual used. How much is the ratio, ma? The ratio we are having is 60 by 240. The first one. Okay. Or else a simple way of calculation is nothing but this 2460 is divided by 240 into 60 into 80 into 100. We will get the revised standard quantity. Okay. So revised standard quantity I am calculating 2460 divided by 240 is equal to how much more into 60. So in this case the revised standard quantity is 615. 2460 divided by 2 into 80. 60 divided by 20 is equal to into 80 is 1025. This is 820. And standard price same is common. There is no change. Just 615 into 15. 615 into 15. If we go with that one, this is 9225. And the next one, 820 into 20 is how much more? 16,400. And the second one, 1025 into 25. How much more? It is 25,625. These are the revised standard quantity values, nothing but actual quantity rewritten in standard mix. Here, nothing but this is nothing but revised standard quantity. Is it clear? Sir, now how to calculate metal mix variance? Okay, sir, we are going with the subdivision of what material usage variance. Okay, in this usage variance are also there are two reasons. One is mix, the other one is material yield variance. Okay, sir, normally metal mix variance we compare what revised standard quantity with the actual quantity. We are comparing what and what revised standard quantity is compared with actual quantity. Sir, what is the difference for that? Okay, that difference is multiplied with which price I'm telling which price? The standard price. Sir, we are asking whom? Production manager. When we are asking production manager, he will always go with the standard price. Sir, I don't want anything. I want only standard price. I'm fixed for that, but quantity mixing is an issue with me. That's the case. Sir, before this is a part. And now, what is next one? Yield variance. Yield is nothing but productivity. Standard quantity compared with the revised standard quantity. Okay, into what standard price. Is it clear? If it is clear, go through the entire part once more. And now I'm going to tell with the why is a requirement of mix variance and what with a small example. Okay, straight away substitute the values in this formula and you can calculate. Okay, this part we can solve in the later sessions. But most important thing, mix variance. We need to go with the most important part of mix variance. I'll go with a funny example. Sir, I am making a sweet. The sweet is laddu. I'm using cashew nuts, okay, and groundnuts. Example, cashew nuts, now groundnuts, and also almonds. Example, this laddu is having three ingredients: cashew, groundnuts, almond. Sir, for one laddu, I should mix 10 cashews. Example, okay. Groundnuts I can use, they are very less cost when compared to cashews. So 20 is no issue. And almonds, that can be used 5. Okay. This is the given part. But actually when they are making, they may take 8 cashews, 25 groundnuts, and 7 almonds. There can be chances now. This gives rise to what variance mix variance. Okay, so straight away if you are substituting the values and all, this will be very clear. The very basic part is that I don't want you to mug up everything. If I'm keep on writing everything, you will just note it down. So the small homework to you is that you please do these things by yourself and compare these things. Okay. So I have drafted the formula now. You need to calculate only one thing, you need to calculate for x and y separately. That's the basic part. Okay. For these all things is a formula drafted now. That is sufficient. Okay. But very basic fundamental doubt is that, sir, why did we go for this calculation earlier? The earlier problem we have done now. For that we have not gone for this calculation. What is the reason, sir? Sir, there the only reason is that only one metal is given, but here three raw metals are given. Is it clear, ma? So if it is clear, I'm going to summarize regarding the metal variance and all. The very first is what, ma? Material cost variance. What is the first one, sir? material cost variance. And for this, there are two reasons. What are those two reasons, ma? The very first reason is material price variance. And this is question to whom? Purchase manager. And the other is material usage variance. So this is question to whom, ma? This is question to our production manager. And this is can be bifurcated into two parts if there are more than one raw material. The one is material mix variance. What is that, ma? Material mix variance. What is other, ma? Material yield variance. Okay, the most important part of your work is the first three variances. If that two variances are done, the other variance is very easy. And the most important step is that is RSQ, revised standard quantity. How we are getting the revised standard quantity, ma? Total actual quantity we are mentioned here. This total actual quantity is rewritten in standard ratio. The standard ratio is nothing but this part. Okay, now, so is it clear? If it is clear, signing out. Thank you, ma. If you are having any doubts, you can ask in the next sessions and all.